if you want to achieve the goals on your vision board this year, make sure you don't do what I did and to not repeat the same mistakes that I made. Today I'm going to share 5 of the biggest mistakes that I made with my 2024 vision board here and how they held me back. But don't worry, because I'm also going to share what I'm doing differently in 2025 so that you can avoid the setbacks that I had and make your vision board work for you. So in chapter 1, I'm going to share the 5 mistakes that I made, and then in chapter 2, I'm going to share my actual tips. So feel free to use either chapter to kind of listen to whatever you need to hear today. So let's get into it. Number 1, I focused on way too many things. As you can see, and apologies if you hear the tape because I taped everything on here, but as you can see, I have so much on this vision board and there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, it's a lot to focus on in just 1 year. Like I have things on here, let's see, I have a loft on here, which I don't even really care about having a loft, but for some reason I put that on there. I have stuff on here for business. I have stuff on there about money. I have stuff on there about traveling. I have stuff on here about getting married. So it's a really busy vision board for something that I wanted to do in just a single year. And sometimes that can be really overwhelming. Like there were times where I felt like I was behind or I was off track because I have all these things and maybe I only did 1 or 2 of them. And so this was just a really busy vision board, and I definitely feel like going back, if I could go back and change this, I would have maybe just had 1 or 2 things to just focus on. It got really overwhelming and it got really stressful a lot of the times last year because I just felt like I had so much to do. I felt like I had so many things that I was still behind on, and it just became discouraging by the end of the year, just feeling like I really didn't accomplish most of these things. Mistake number 2 was that I was a little bit unclear on what I wanted to happen last year. I mean, the stuff on here, most of it is really important to me and it's very meaningful, but at the same time, the loft isn't. Like having a 2-floor loft, like I don't really care about that. I just want to have a home that's my own, that I feel happy in and comfortable in and safe in. And for me to have put that on here just feels a little bit off because that was something that I wasn't really even interested in having last year. So I was a little bit unclear with what I really wanted to see happen in 2024, and that's a big mistake when it comes to vision boards because you want to be crystal clear on what exactly you want to happen this year, what exactly you want to have manifested. And so having something on here that isn't that meaningful to me and having something on here that I was a little bit unclear about, it creates confusion because why do I have something on here that I want to manifest that I don't even really care about? It sets a contradicting message out into the universe, and it contradicts yourself. So if I could go back, I probably would have removed the loft because it's not even important to me, nor was it at the time of me creating this. So I want to talk about mistake number 3, which is only having 1 metric for success. So as you can see, I have something on here for YouTube, and the only thing that's on here for YouTube is 10,000 subscribers, which to me is a little bit crazy when I think about it now, because that should not be my only metric for success on YouTube, especially as a new creator and a new YouTuber. There's so many other metrics for success, and I've learned this throughout the year of being on YouTube. Like there's the number of views I'm getting, the number of impressions, how many people are clicking, like my click-through rate, the percentage, like how often are people checking out my videos, how long are they engaging, how long are they watching the video when they've decided to click. There's just so many other metrics for success, and that's one mistake that I made on here, was just putting this 10,000 subscribers, because that is not the only way to be successful on YouTube. It's not just the number of people who have clicked the button. And I really believe that when you have multiple metrics for success, it's a lot more motivating, but you also see the actual progress that you're making. For me, for my YouTube channel, I didn't get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of 24, but guess what? I still reached people. I got over 100,000 impressions. To me, that's crazy. The fact that my videos showed up literally 100,000 times on people's screen like that, to me, is more meaningful than 10,000 subscribers as a new creator. So if I could go back, I would put more metrics for success for YouTube on here, just so that my mind could pay attention to those things and so that my mind could see all the other ways I was making that progress. Mistake number 4, y'all, overlooking my timeline. That is why this vision board is so crazy. I have all these things on here. Granted, they're all important to me. Of course, I want to have 10,000 subscribers eventually. I'd love to be able to travel more. All those things are important to me. I didn't sit with each of these items long enough and really ask myself, hey, Ladette, what of these things can we do in 1 year? And which of these things are maybe more like a 2-year vision board, or maybe 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? It's okay for some of these things to take that much time. Like the 10,000 subscribers, for example. That might take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and that's okay. It's okay for me to have this on a vision board, but maybe not my 1-year vision board. Maybe something like 500 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers would have been a little bit more realistic. And it's not to downplay myself, it's more just about what can be done in a year. What's gonna feel challenging enough, what's gonna feel meaningful enough, but what is also going to be realistic enough. If I'm only at 155 subscribers right now, maybe it would make more sense for my 2025 vision board to put 1,000, maybe 2,000 if I really want to push myself a little bit. But that, and then on top of like the business, you know, the traveling, the marriage, like maybe instead of putting a ring on here, maybe it might make more sense to put meeting the guy that I'm gonna marry. Maybe it doesn't have to be marriage this year, but how about just meeting that person? How about just manifesting that guy into my life? Do you see what I mean? So it's not about downplaying yourself at all, because you have to be a little bit delusional with your vision board, but not to the point where it feels so far off that it's not gonna happen. So yeah, that mistake was just, you know, putting so many things on here and mixing my 2-year plan, 5-year plan with my 1-year plan. And then my last mistake, which is the biggest mistake, was that I didn't connect emotionally enough with this vision board. And what I mean is feeling the emotion of what it feels like to have the loft, whatever, to have the 2-floor home, to travel more, feeling the emotion of getting married, feeling the emotion of reaching 10,000 subscribers, of having more sales on my website. Like, I didn't regularly feel those feelings. I felt them when I was putting this vision board together, but after that, I mean, yes, I hung it up in my office, yes, I could see it every single day, but it's one thing to just look at your vision board every day and kind of dismiss it, and another to really sit with it and feel it. Like, I am a business owner, I have 10,000 subscribers, like I'm reaching people, it feels amazing. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, I didn't emotionally connect with this, and therefore it just became a canvas hung up on my wall and nothing more than that, really. So I definitely would say that that is my biggest mistake, because I didn't connect enough with it. And when that happens, it's like everything else in life that we do on autopilot, you know? When you drive to work, you're on autopilot. When you're getting ready, you might be on autopilot. Like, I know there's so many things that I do that I'm not mindful about, that I don't pay enough attention to. And unfortunately, that's what happened with my 2024 vision board. Even though I had it in front of me every single day, I didn't actually sit there and be intentional with it and connect to that life that I know I'm going to manifest. I kind of forgot about it. So don't do what I did, and make sure that wherever you put this, whether it's on your phone, your bed, whatever, that you sit there and actually feel what it feels like for this to be your reality regularly. Which brings me into chapter 2. We're gonna talk about the tips that I have. So tip number 1 is to just focus on 1 or 2 things. Honestly, y'all, don't do what I did. Don't have 5, 6, 7, 8 things on your vision board. We're talking about a 1-year vision board and just a couple of things you really want to focus on that you want to accomplish by the end of the year. So if it's going to be health, for example, maybe you put on there like something with endurance, or maybe you put on there something about how heavy you want to lift, or how you feel in clothes that you wear. Like, have several metrics for success, and I'll talk about that in a second, but just maybe focusing on 1 or 2 things, which is actually what I'm gonna do. I'm really just gonna focus on YouTube. YouTube is going to be the only thing that I'm concerned about on my vision board this year. And I really want to just say, don't overwhelm yourself. It's okay to only have 1 goal. It's okay to only have 2 goals. You don't have to put all these things on your vision board. And quite frankly, I think that when you have too much, and I think that when you have a vision board that's too busy, that you're almost putting out there to the universe, these are all the things in my life that I don't like. These are all the things in my life that I wish were different. And that is exactly the message That is exactly the message that I sent with this vision board. I have something on here for health, for business, for travel, for marriage, relationships. What else do we have on here? Something about, I think it's mostly that, oh, like my future home. I'm basically saying here are 5 areas in my life that, God, I wish were different. I really don't like these aspects of my life. And you may not feel like that's what you're putting out there consciously, but in essence it kind of is. Like, oh, I want to change all these things. So I would suggest just focus on 1 or 2 and don't downplay how effective that might be. That might be the best thing you could have done, is really just be crystal clear and laser focused on one thing. Tip number 2, be clear on what you're going to put on your vision board. Whether it's something to do with business or your health, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to go and put something on a canvas or on your phone and it's something you're going to see every day, be really intentional about what that image is and what that represents for you and why that's important to you. And something that I like to ask myself to help me understand like what is important to me is just, why does that thing matter? I just love the question of why. Why does this matter to me? So with YouTube, why does reaching 10,000 subscribers matter to me? Why does growing my channel matter to me? Because I want to reach people, and I know that the message that I have to share is important, and I know that when I create videos, I feel in my purpose. I know that I'm talking about things that are positive, things that genuinely can help people, and I genuinely feel so happy and true to myself and my purpose when I'm putting content out to the universe. When I'm putting content out to the world like this, it makes me happy, and I really like making other people happy. It makes me feel good, and so reaching that many people is important to me. I also love the freedom that comes with YouTube. Like, I am all about freedom in life. I would love to do this full time, and I would love for this to be my main source of income, of course, because I'm someone that cares about being able to work. I want to work wherever I want to work. I want to travel when I want to travel, and there's an opportunity with YouTube that I see in that, and that's why it's so important to me to grow this channel. Which, by the way, if you're resonating with the video, if you're resonating with kind of what I've shared so far, definitely comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Like the video, share the video, because that also helps me with my reach. So yes, if you're gonna go out of your way to print a picture and put it on your vision board, make sure it's a picture that represents truly the why behind the goal that you have, and that you emotionally connect with that image as well. Tip number 3, put multiple metrics for success on your vision board. So if maybe your health is what you really want to focus on in 2025, a couple different metrics that you could put on there is, maybe you put a picture of like the type of workouts you want to be doing. Maybe you want to do more high intensity, maybe you want to be a runner, maybe you want to do more strength training. So you put something like that on your vision board. And then maybe you also want to do something with like the type of foods you're eating. Maybe you want to eat more veggies, maybe you want to eat more fruits. So those are also things that you can put on your vision board. And then maybe you put something on there about, I don't know, being in nature more and like walking more, things like that. So you slap that onto your vision board. Maybe you want to eat more organic foods, so you put a label that just says organic. Like, your vision board doesn't have to just be images of the thing, it could also be words that represent what you're working on. So does that make sense? Like, have different metrics for success so that as the weeks are passing by, as the months are passing by, you can sit there and be like, oh my god, like, wait, I eat a lot of organic food now, or oh my god, like, I definitely have like veggies and fruits throughout the day. Like, I never used to do that. And just to really motivate and encourage yourself, and so that you can also see, wow, I'm actually checking off different things for my vision board. Like, shout out me, shout out me. Tip number 4 is to break down your timeline and understand where you're currently at right now. So what I mean by that is, before you start writing your goals, before you start putting your vision board together, sit back and just ask yourself, like, where am I currently at right now? So going back to health, if you're someone who right now you haven't been in the gym, which is okay, right now you haven't really been shopping and doing like organic food, or you haven't been eating healthy, whatever it is, I want you to actually sit back and like recognize where you're at, because it's going to be from there where you can set some of these goals and determine what you can do in a year. So I want to give my example with my lovely chaotic crazy vision board, and I want to talk about the YouTube example. So last year, before I made my vision board, I think I was at like 40 subscribers, something like that. So for me, it would have made sense, before putting 10,000 subscribers on here, to sit back and be like, okay, where are we at right now? Okay, we're at 40 subscribers. So I know how long it took me to get to 40 subscribers. It took me about 3 months. So how long do I think it'll take me to get to 10,000 subscribers, okay? Maybe a couple years. This might not be something I can do in a year, which I'm not downplaying myself again. It's just about understanding and having an awareness of where I'm at. So for me, maybe 1,000 would have made more sense. Now that I've done YouTube a full year, like a full other year, I can sit back and say, okay, so it took me about a year to get an additional 100 subscribers. And I know how much work I put in. There were times where I took a couple months off here and there, but for the most part, the amount of videos I uploaded, how long it took me, the work that I put in, etc., like I know what that looks like now. So now I can sit back and say, okay, I feel like because I did 100 subscribers in 1 year, I know that I could definitely do another 100, but I want to challenge myself. I want to push myself a little. And I also want to be more consistent. So I'm going to say 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 155 now. 1,000 doesn't feel completely out of reach. It feels definitely like a challenge, but I know that I can do it. And I don't want to downplay myself or underplay myself. I also still want to be a little bit delusional. So I'm going to say 1,000 subscribers. I hope that makes sense. So figuring out where you're currently at with whatever goal you want to manifest in 2025, and then mixing in just like a little bit of delusion, but also something that you feel like you can do. I know I can get to 1,000 subscribers. Whatever your goal is, I want you to feel like, okay, this is going to be challenging, but I can do it. I know I can do it. Why not? And then the last tip number 5, is to regularly connect with your vision board. I know that I already kind of mentioned this earlier, but if you're gonna go out of your way and you're gonna make this vision board and you're gonna put all your goals and your dreams and everything that's important to you on something that you're gonna see every day, just go that extra mile and connect with it, even if it's once a week. Honestly, I promised myself that in 2025, at least once a week, for 5 minutes, I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna look at my vision board and I'm gonna tune into the emotion of what it feels like to have, you know, 1 million impressions, to have thousands of views every month, to reach new audiences, to have people engaging with me regularly, to reach the number of subscribers. Like, I'm going to emotionally step into a person who has that as their reality, and that is how I know that I'm gonna manifest what's on my 2025 vision board. I know that you can do the same as long as you're connecting to your why and you're connecting to your vision board. And again, this can be a weekly thing that you do for 5 minutes. It can be a daily check-in for 1 minute. It's just totally up to whatever works for you in your schedule. But I just know, y'all, 2025 is our year. As long as we're being intentional about what we have on our vision boards and we're reminding ourselves of why we even created it in the first place. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys find value in some of the mistakes that I made, and it's okay, by the way, to make mistakes as long as you take the lesson from them. And I hope today's video saves you a little bit of time from what I learned last year. I'm really excited for my 2025 vision board. Let me know down in the comments what are a couple things that you're working on in 2025. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to support you in your vision board, and let us know in the comments what tips and tricks you have for your vision board. Like, if there's something you've done in the past that has been really successful for you, I would love to know, because I am so adamant about making my 2025 goals come true, and I'm pretty certain that anyone watching this video also is. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!